So again, now we are discussing the 6 content points, right? So we're going through the first point, the date and time of the event. And if you look at the date and time of the event, you'll notice that there's a venue involved there as well. Please do not omit the venue because there's no reason for you to, right? If it comes in a group, right, and it does not interfere with your point, please include the information because it will be additional information that helps your friend Gary to be more accurate in his participation of this event. In this case, he will know where to go. Okay, so point 1, point 2, very straightforward. So it's going to be 11th October 2023. Remember to put the year because the year is important. And then remember to put the time as 2 p.m. Follow exactly. You can write number 2, right? And then venue is school hall, right? That's also very straightforward. Then the 2 things your group will need to do to get at the event to get a new book for the library. So the 2 things is going to be, number 1, read silently in the group for 20 minutes, right? So that's the first activity, right? What's the second thing that you need to do? Someone please tell me. What's the second action that you need to do? Can I have somebody participate beside Dia, please? Thank you. Adrian, yep.
You have to submit one of the the points to the event page.
Can you phrase your answer as you would write it?
We will have to submit one. We would have to submit one of
Do you think you need to
not
write
so
about
sure.
one of the following? Do you need to write about one of the following? No, what? I don't see.
We have
Yeah.
to submit a group comment about the joy of reading on a piece of paper, or
Okay.
a group photo taken at a photo booth.
Do you think you need to include the or? No, right? Because you are instructing your friend about what are the 2 things your group will do. That means what are the 2 things your group will do? No, your group. Your group is not going to be taking a group photo, right? Okay. Why? Because your friend does not like to take photos. You will mention that later. Okay. But you have to say first that number 1, we are going to read silently in our group for 20 minutes. So Gary knows what to do. And number 2, we are going to post a group comment or upload a group comment about the joy of reading on a piece of paper, right? I'm sorry, so that it can be uploaded onto the event page. Okay, so you will submit a group comment about the joy of reading on a piece of paper so that it can be uploaded to the event page. Okay, and then you can then go on to talk about how we will not take a group photo, right? Because we know that you do not like to take photos. Do you all understand? Okay. It is important to explain why you are doing something instead of something else, right? Otherwise, that's important contextual information, again, that is missed out. Okay, someone who writes that versus someone who doesn't write that is going to score better, right? In his overall language content score. He has provided important information that will persuade Gary to join in. Why? Because your friends consider the fact that you don't like to take photos. Therefore, they have chosen an activity that you are able to participate in or you would want to participate in. Wouldn't that convince you to join the activity, right? Because your friends are so considerate, you will be motivated to want to join it, right? So therefore, that is important contextual information, even though it's not required or asked for in the content point. So be aware of that, right? Always think about who you are writing to and why you are writing. Anything additional that you can include, right, that will convince your friend to join this event, right, you must include, even though it's not in the 6 content points. And you must do it quickly because remember, you have to manage all of this within 20 minutes. Okay, so it's quite tight. Okay, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Date, time, venue, right? Then we included the 2 things, reading together silently in a group and then posting a group comment, right? And the group comment, why? Because we don't want to take a group photo. We know that Gary doesn't like it, or we know that you don't like to take photos. So we've decided that we will do the group comment instead, right? So that's my 3 and 4, right? Then my point 5, one reason why Gary will be keen to join the event, okay? So over here in this dialogue, right, you will see the answer, right? So what is the one event, or what is the one reason why Gary is keen to join this event? Can I have somebody besides Adrian or Dia or Kanish to offer an answer? Genevieve also answered just now. Can I have someone new? Can you rephrase this for me to answer why what is one reason why he would be keen to join this event? Someone else, please. Thank you very much. I would like to maximize participation so that everybody gets a sense that we are participating, okay? Yeah. Anyone would like to give this a try? Quickly, quickly. Don't be shy. It's okay if you get it wrong. I'll always help you and rephrase it for you. Okay, thank you, Nicholas. Go ahead. Try.
Because Gary said that he wanted the library needs more books, and
Okay.
every photo or comment uploaded will the Glory bookstore will donate a new book to the library.
Okay, you're absolutely right. You've got the point right there. But can you rephrase it in a way? Okay, Nicholas has already done his part. I want someone else. Can you try to rephrase that in a way that answers the question, one reason why Gary will be keen to join the event? Okay, so remember to use the question in the way you respond. Always use the question against itself, right? Okay, Dia, come.
You will be keen to join the event as Glory Bookstore will donate a new book to the school library, and I remember you saying that our library needs more books.
Yes, very good. So you have to phrase it in such a way that you, right? Because Gary is the person you're writing to. Thank you, Dia. That's correct. So why will you be keen? You will be keen because, right, for every photo or comment uploaded, Glory Bookstore will donate a new book to the school library. And I remember you saying that our library needs more books. Okay, very good. Thank you, Dia. That's perfectly right. Okay, and finally, one reason why he needs to get back to you soon. This is something we just discussed. And again, let's use the question in order to provide the answer, to phrase the answer. Use the question to phrase the answer. Anybody? Quickly? Anyone? Just offer up your answer and then we can close up this section already. Yuan, can you try this, please?
You need to get back to us soon as the event is limited to the first 50 groups only.
Perfect. Thank you. Right. Short and sweet. Right. Therefore, that's it. Right. So we have our 6 content points. We are now ready to launch into our writing. Okay. So I want you to keep this in mind, right? Because I can't screen both pages at the same time. So I'm going to swap over to my writing. So this is where we start to write. Okay. This is where we start to write. So I want you to remember basically the details that we have just discussed. Okay. And you should be able to see my iPad screen. Okay. Very good. Okay, right. So now I'm going to start to write, okay? And you all can follow along with me, right? So the date, right, is going to have to be on the 25th of September because remember, they just saw it on the website, right? And then they urgently want to communicate this to their friend, okay? So you cannot write any other date because the urgency of this particular event, right, requires that the date be the same day that they see this on the school website, right? Okay, so the date will be very clear, right? So again, I will begin with a very clear salutation, okay? And this is quite straightforward, right? Okay, and I remind all of you, the safest polite phrase is just, how are you? Okay? Right, so how are you? And there's no need to answer your own question, right? Don't say, I'm fine, right? Don't say, I hope this email finds you in good spirits. There's no need for that, okay? Because it's already one polite phrase down already. That's it, okay? So this is my polite phrase, and my polite phrase is always pretty standard, okay? Then you immediately go into the contextual information, right? So you say, Nora and I, okay? So Nora and I, because you're Amy, right? Saw an event page. So I'm copying from the contextual, the first 2 lines above the picture. So remember, the first 2 lines above the picture should usually appear in the first paragraph. Okay? So anytime you see information in the first 2 lines above the picture, always park it somewhere in the first paragraph. Okay? Always park it somewhere in the first paragraph because it's there to let you know the context of how you found out about this and what you are going to do about it. Okay? So always use the information that is presented to you in the first 2 lines, if there is. In some questions, there's no information in the first 2 lines. That's okay then, right? But in this case, there is, all right? On the school website, . About. Read. Sorry. For books. Event. Okay. Now, I just want to highlight here that read for books is the title of the event. There is no need to use open and close inverted commas. Do I make myself clear? I say again, there is no need to use open and close inverted commas for the title of the event. Because open and close inverted commas are speech marks, I remind you, they are speech marks. They are only to be used when you are quoting someone's speech or when you are verbalizing a character's speech. Those are speech marks. Do not overuse them and do not use them in the wrong context. If you are quoting somebody or quoting a line from a book, you will use single quotation marks, right? Single quotation marks. But again, in email, you do not use quotation marks and you do not use speech markers, right? Because you are not reporting the speech of anyone and you're not quoting from a book. You are simply writing down the title of an event. So make sure you capitalize whatever is capitalized. So read for books, and you just capitalize the R and the B, you follow exactly. That's it, okay? Then you follow the purpose. I would like to invite you or ask you, you can use the word ask or invite you to join this event with us. Again, the purpose statement of any informal email is always would like to. I would like to. Please refrain from writing, I am writing to persuade you, right? You do not tell someone you are persuading them. Do you understand, everybody? Even though the purpose statement is to persuade your friend to join, you will never tell your friend, hi, I'm here to persuade you to do something. No, right? That's not how you will do it, right? Your persuasion is the whole email, right? You will not use the word persuade in this case, right? But you can use the word tell you, inform you. In this case, you want to ask your friend to join this event with you, okay? Right? And who is the us? The us is Nora and I, okay? So Nora and I, therefore you can say us, okay? Actually, if you want to be more specific, you can write today, okay? But that's not strictly speaking necessary lah. Why today? Because today links you to the date that you wrote above on the 25th of September, okay? But that's not strictly speaking necessary. There's no need to identify the date at which you saw this event page. But, you know, if you want to, that's good, right? There's no harm to that, right? But that's why I put that as an inverted caret, huh? Okay, so far, first paragraph done, right? All good, right? Any questions? I know that some of you have tuition outside. I know that some of you are taught different ways of writing informal emails. So if you have any, you know, alternative ways you want to clarify with me, whether it's going to be okay or not, whether it interferes, you know, with what you learn, please clarify now. It's okay, right? But I would recommend that you don't get confused by multiple methods. You follow one way and you just consistently use it. Okay, try not to alternate different ways because it will confuse you, right? Don't alternate different phraseologies. Follow one way of phrasing your informal email and you shouldn't go wrong. Any questions? No, I take it that you're all okay, right? Okay, if not, then I will move on to the second paragraph. I aim to finish this before 3 o'clock, okay? Is that okay, everybody? You all can, right? Right? I will try to finish it very soon. So second paragraph is where we always include the 6 content points. So remember, first paragraph is always the polite phrase, the purpose statement, and the contextual information, okay? So PPC, polite phrase, purpose statement, and contextual information, PPC, yeah? The second paragraph is always going to be your 6 content points. Okay, so your CC, all your 6 content points, right? Then your last paragraph is always going to be your purpose statement repeated or your call to action, right? And then your polite phrase at the end, right? See you soon, right? So it's PPC also, right? At the end. Okay, so it's like a symmetry, yeah? It's like a hamburger with 2 pieces of bread on top and below, and then the content being the patty that's in the middle. Okay, so second paragraph, let's build the patty. So first point, okay, the first point being that we need to have the date and time, right? So the event will take place on 11th of October 2023 okay, at 2 p.m. in the school hall. Okay, so again, even though the school hall is not part of the content point, I'm going to include it in anyway because it's essential information, right? So 2 p.m. in the school hall. And then the second point is two things your group will do, okay? Our group of 3 will, so group of 3 because, right, remember we talked about how it is supposed to be us signing up as a group of 3, right? Our group of 3 will read silently. Okay, so again, I'm just copying what your group will do. So I'm just going to put, will read silently for 20 minutes. Okay, then I'll use the connector then, because I'm going to talk about first I read for 20 minutes, then I submit. Okay, so point number 3 and point number 4. Okay, so I'm going to label it now in a different color so you can see. So this is point number 1, this is point number 2, this is point number 3, this is point number 4. It's quite straightforward, right? Okay, it's quite straightforward. You get the hang of it after a while. You just follow the question, right? And then you use the question to phrase your answer using the content from the picture. You can't go wrong. It's very, very straightforward, very standard, okay? So I like this section because it's very easy to score. Right, so I have 4 points already. Now I just need to find out the one reason why he'll be keen to join the event. And again, right, I think you will be keen. I'm just following why, one reason why Gary will be keen to join the event. I think you will be keen to join the event. Please be careful not to put Gary because you're writing to Gary. Be careful you don't write Gary will be keen to join the event because, so one reason, right? Glory Bookstore, and be careful of the punctuation. Bookstore, right, will donate a new book to the school library for every comment uploaded. All right, so here is my point 5. Donate a new book and I remember you saying our library needs new books. Okay, done. Okay, so here, this is point number 5. Okay, at this point, you might want to include the idea that you have chosen this activity rather than the photo taking, right? To convince your friend that you are doing this in order to be considerate of his preferences. Okay, we decided not to submit a group photo because we know you do not like to be in photos. Right? So we decided to submit the comment because A, we know that you would like the school library to get new books. And B, because we know you don't like to take photos or you don't like to be in photos, so we are not going to submit a group photo. That's why we have chosen to take the comment instead of the photo. All follow so far? Quite okay, right? Quite easy, right? Okay. Conceptually, not difficult to understand now, okay? So always try to keep yourselves anchored to the actual question itself, right? What is the question asking you for? Give the question exactly what it wants, all right? Try not to deviate too much from it, get carried away with other things or get distracted, right? That's very, very important. The whole point is to follow what this question is asking for. And the last one, of course, is over here, why he needs to get back to you soon. Okay, so again, right, you should get back to us as soon as possible because this event is limited to the first 50 groups only, exclamation mark. Okay, so this is to convince your friend Gary to reply to you quickly. And remember, this means that later on in my last paragraph, I will need to ask for him to reply to me, okay, as soon as possible, right? Because this is going to determine when we can register as a group, okay, right? Okay, finally, let's close it in the last paragraph, right? So last paragraph, I hope. Remember, you can memorize this, it's always I hope, right? I hope that you will be able to join us for this event. Okay, very straightforward, right? Because you are writing to persuade him. So of course you hope that he will join you for this event. Please reply soon so that we can sign up as a group. Okay, again, I'm copying this from the picture itself. Sign up as a group of 3 by scanning the QR code, right? Okay. Using the QR code on the website, on the event page. All right. We hope to hear from you soon, exclamation mark. Yours sincerely, Amy. Okay, so let me just go back and pencil down the things I did not mark out. So decided, blah, blah, blah. Okay, event is limited to 50 groups. This is my point number 6. Okay, and then over here, I hope that you will be able to join us for this event. This is my end purpose or call to action. Okay, I want him to do something, in this case, to join us. And then there's a second part here, right? So reply soon so that we can sign up as a group. Okay, so this is my call to action again. Okay, so he must reply. And what is his reply going to help us to do? Is going to help us to register as a group. All right. And the registration of the group will take place by scanning the QR code on the event page. Okay. And then at the end, this is hope to hear from you soon. We hope to hear from you soon. Try to use the pronoun we or I lah. Okay. I or we. Right. Don't say hope to hear from you soon. See you soon. Always put a pronoun there because some teachers are sensitive to pronoun omission. I know this is informal and I know that it should be okay, but in this case, let's err on the side of caution. Okay. So make sure you have a pronoun there lah. I or we. Okay. Hope to hear from you soon. This is your polite phrase to end. And then this is your sign off. Okay. Yours sincerely. A gentle reminder not to use the word faithfully. Okay. Because one or two of you did that in our previous exercise on informal email. Faithfully is, first of all, it's formal. And second of all, it's used for an unknown subject. Okay. So if you don't know the person, like, he is the manager or he is the, CEO, and you don't know his name, right? Then you use yours faithfully. Okay. Yes, Nicholas? You have a question?
Or somebody that you don't know, can you also put yours sincerely?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you
absolutely
sincerely apply to everything.
Yes. So that's why I only teach you yours sincerely, right? You realize that, right? I always just use yours sincerely lah. I don't even use yours faithfully. Okay. And again, there's always a chance that you will spell faithfully wrongly lah, because it is a little bit of a complex word to spell for some people. So use yours sincerely in all cases, formal or informal. You can't go wrong. Yes, Adrian?
At the beginning, you said that this situational writing was very controversial. I want to know why it was controversial.
Okay, sure. I'll point out to you, okay? Let me just change to a pointer. Let me see if I can use a pointer. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Okay, so can you see my pointer here? Right, y'all can see my pointer. Okay, so I'm going to point to a few portions, and then I'm going to explain to you. So the first one, right, over here, right, we will submit a group comment about the joy of reading on a piece of paper, right? Many people omitted the fact that it should be uploaded to the event page, okay? Or some of them wrote that we should submit a group comment about the joy of reading, right, to the website. Why? Because over in the question paper, let me show you the question paper. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So over here on the question paper, right, you can see that you are supposed to submit one of the following to any teacher in the hall to upload to the event page. Okay. So many of them, right, they wrote that a group comment about the joy of reading, they didn't write on a piece of paper, they wrote onto the school event page or onto the school website, right? So there was a lot of argument about whether the group comment was valid point because they got the part about how it's posted wrong. You all understand group comment, right? They wrote it on a piece of paper. The teacher took a photo of it and then posted that photo of or scan of that comment onto the website. That's the proper procedure. And you will see that in my response, right? That's exactly what I did. Okay. But many students in this case were inaccurate in their portrayal, and they got marks deducted, or even the entire point was incorrect, because they did not mention that they wrote the comment on a piece of paper, okay, and then the teacher uploaded it to the event page. They missed this entire section out. They just said they posted the group comment on the event page. Okay, so this was one controversy. Teachers had to discuss about whether to. In the end, because many students made this mistake, right, they actually did not penalize. So as long as the student wrote group comment on the event page, right, they allowed it, right, even though there was some argument about the accuracy of it. The second point was about the choice between the two events, right? Because many students wrote the two actions as you read silently, then you take a group photo, then you post a group comment. They wrote 3 instead of 2. Do you understand? Because the question was, write the 2 things that your group needs to do. They wrote 3. They wrote you can you read silently, you post a group photo, and then you post a group comment. The argument is that they didn't take a group photo because Gary didn't want to be in the photo, right? So they wrote 3. Should they get 1 mark? Or should they get 2 marks? Do you get the argument, Adrian? Okay. Why? Because one of the points is contradictory. They would not have taken a group photo because, in this case, Gary would have been against it. Therefore, if you write that point in and you don't qualify that they are not going to do it, right? By right, that point will be a negative point. So that's what happened. They decided that if people wrote all 3 and they didn't explain that the group photo was not going to be taken because of Gary's aversion to appearing in photographs, then they would have only gotten 1 content point for the 2 content marks. Okay, because one of the content points interferes with the other, right? It kind of nullifies the other. So it was quite controversial, right? There was a lot of discussion about it. Why? Because actually the person wrote the 2 correct content points, right? But then this third one, the one about the group photo, indicates that the person does not understand the question properly, right? The person thinks that he's just supposed to list any of those actions, but he did not consider that Gary would not be in favor of one of those actions, which is the group photo. Okay, so these are the 2 major controversies, and quite a lot of discussions and marks were lost in this area. Many students could have scored full marks, but because of these 2 main areas, there were others as well, but these are the 2 main areas. They were not able to score as well as they would normally have been able to score because they had good language and good organization. Okay, so the moral of the story is, please be very careful how you read the question. Please be very careful not to omit any important pieces of information that might sabotage your answer. For example, the previous one we just did, right? Many of you, I explained to you, when we were writing that particular informal email, a lot of you wrote that mother was going to support the event without explaining how she was going to pay for the registration fee of $20 per person. Many of you omitted the part that she was going to pay $20 per person, which would have added up to about $40 because 2 of you are joining, right? Okay, and that sort of like invalidated your point. So be very careful that you don't leave things out when you are writing your points in situational writing. Better to err on the side of caution and include something, right? Rather than to miss it out and then not get the full mark for it. Okay, yes, Genevieve?
For the one that says that the fee is for $20, what happens if you put like that she'll pay for the fee so that you don't have to worry about money? Will you get the mark?
No, you have to be very clear that you are going to pay for the registration fee of $20. You have to be very specific. Why do you have to be so specific? Because it was given to you. You have no excuse, right? If the information given to you is incomplete, it doesn't specify the amount, then it's okay lah. You just write that, mother will pay for our registration fee. But the registration fee was specifically given as $20. Why would you not use it, right? So you have omitted important information that was provided for you in the context of the question. So always remember, okay, boys and girls, whatever, I come back to the first statement I made for today's video, whatever is given to you in the paper is for you to use. It is not for you to ignore. So if you ignore it, you run the risk of losing marks. If you include it, you will not lose any marks. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer, right? Why not just include it? Why not err on the side of caution? There's nothing to lose, right? Unless you're saying you're so lazy, you don't even want to add one additional phrase. It doesn't make sense to me. You're sitting for an exam, it's high stakes. Why don't you do everything possible in your power to ensure that you get as many marks as possible, right? That should be the mindset, right? Unless what you are including is irrelevant or interferes with the meaning, like I just said, right? The 3 points instead of 2, the one that I explained to Adrian, right? You must be very careful how you read the question, okay? So if the information you provide will not harm your point, right, then why not just provide it? Like, just now we said the venue is not included, but I include the venue in, it doesn't harm anything, right? It doesn't interfere with the meaning. In fact, it adds to the coherency of my email and it makes the reader more knowledgeable about how to attend this event. Why not? Just include it. It is only like a split second, just 2 more words. It doesn't harm, right? So again, err on the side of caution. Again, pay attention to every element that's given to you in the picture and in the question. Again, include all contextual information that might be relevant to this particular person you're writing to. being able to do what you want him or her to do. Okay, all the information that will help this person, even if it is not in the 5 content points, include it in. All the while being conscious of the time limit. Got it, everybody? Just be aware of the time limit, right? You include all these things in, I honestly don't think it's going to interfere with your time by very much. Maybe a few more seconds here and there. But if you are conscious, if you are very well focused, this will not affect you at all. In fact, it will enhance the coherency of your writing, right? And please be careful of your tenses, you know, the usual thing about language, right? If you are in doubt, just follow the stem of the question, right? The question will guide you into how to answer itself, okay? Any questions? You all should be quite clear about this, right? So notice that informal emails can also be quite long. This one is an example, okay? So if you are writing too short, alarm bell should be going off. Look out for information that you are missing and you have not included in. Think about what you might have missed, okay, as you are writing. Don't be so quick to finish it that you forget that there's important information left out there, unused. Okay, Ken? If not, right, that's all I have for you today. The next session that we have, I'm hoping to continue on Tuesday. We will do a paper 2 component analysis, okay? I will need for you to have your orange or yellow files with you, right? Then we'll do a bit of an analysis. I'll come up with some common errors that you all make in paper 2 in different components. And then I'll try to train you all to look out for these errors so that the next NWA after this situational writing, which is the following week, you all will be more equipped to make less careless mistakes, right? Which again, I remind all of you, is the main problem with us, right? This class. Our careless mistakes are what rob us of the most scores. Our foundation is actually very good. Our language ability is actually very good. It's just that we have a tendency to overlook, right, certain clues and certain signposts that can guide us to the correct answer. So I ask all of you to be very careful, to read carefully, to be very analytical about the information that's presented to you, whether situational writing or paper 2. But next week, we will do paper 2. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. If no question, right, you all may go. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. If you have anything to ask me, you can stay behind, okay? Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Bye.